Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, the crisis in our higher education sector is a consequence of years of funding neglect by government. Whilst the focus has been on trying to plaster over the festering student fees crisis, the real crisis, the severe underfunding of our universities over the past 2 decades, has been neglected. Consequently, fees will continue to have to increase. Apart from our universities, the department is also responsible for many other entities, many of which are underfunded. There are problems with the settling of a recently transferred TVET colleges, resolving the ongoing and despicable certification disaster. We can rightfully say questions have been asked and the department is not answering it. 2009 to 2011, students from FET colleges have still not got their certification. What is happening? Endeavouring to create community colleges, stopping the rot and rampant corruption in our SETAs, and revamping NSFAS. Our entire higher education system is unstable and is at risk. We know from budget projections that the financial resources to resolve a higher education funding crisis will, in all probability, never materialise. However, according to the Institute of Race Relations, higher education could be properly funded within existing budget constraints by cutting the bloated civil service. So, Minister, who comes first? Our bloated and an inefficient civil service, or our universities and impoverished and vulnerable youth, our students? I've been privileged to be at some of our country's universities during February 2017. A majority of students arrived on public transportation, hundreds of kilometres away from home. They found themselves in situations without any indication whether they will receive NSFAS funding or not. Many were forced into private student residencies due to accommodation shortages, expensive residencies that should be shut down as a health risk, but instead they are charging prime rates. 12 students in a 4-bedroom house and they have to pay 3,500 rand a month, no food, no nothing, no internet. You have students having to sleep on floors and worst even not knowing where their next plate of food is coming from. Is this how we treat the future professionals of our country, our leaders? I assisted a few students with purchasing textbooks and they did not have the resources to procure their textbooks. Why are we putting the burden on already overstretched families? Should universities not keep a stock of academic textbooks that can be borrowed and returned once the module is complete? Our higher education problem goes far beyond the fees. There are real social and post-university challenges which our youth and students face. Students have identified challenges and they have sent me some of their recommendations. Accommodation. Government must meet institutions halfway by providing them with unused buildings near institutions and renovate the old ones. Drug, alcohol abuse and peer pressure is a reality. Government should fund NGOs to educate students about the use and effects of substance abuse. Lack of development programs. Throughout our country, students graduate every year in our different respective institutions, and Minister, this comes from students. But they fail interviews or they can't cope when they get to the workplace because they are not developed. Government should create agencies that can encourage students to participate in developmental programs that will prepare them for the corporate world. Compulsory internships and scholarships. Now, this is coming from students. LGBTs, lesbian, gay, bisexuals, are victimized.
Your time is
Can
up.
government implement policies to protect them and consider having temporary
Honourable
LGBT
Kubisa.
residencies? Thank you.